Standing on the southern edge of Victoria's Mornington Peninsula, the landscape meets the raw, relentless energy of the Bass Strait. Here in Portsea, wind from the Southern Ocean, driving rain, and salt-heavy air define the environment. Designed by Pete Kennon and Zoe Fayman of Studio Kennon, Wildcoast Residence doesn't attempt to wall itself off from these forces. Instead, the 692-square-meter home quietly huddles into the coastal dunes, anchoring into the earth to turn extreme climate into an immersive spatial dialogue.
Approaching the house, the architecture immediately announces its grounding intent. Monolithic gray concrete walls stand beside a warm, hand-laid natural stone wall, creating a protective barrier that deflects ocean gales while feeling rooted in the sandy soil. A gravel driveway curves alongside low-lying native vegetation and a delicate young tree, leading under exposed timber pergola beams that whisper of the tactile warmth inside.
Moving around toward the entrance portal, the rhythm of heavy, protective materials continues. The long stone wall stretches beside a manicured lawn, acting as a shield against wind and salt air. Deeply recessed within a massive concrete alcove, a rich timber door marks the primary entry point, offering an immediate sense of shelter and quiet transition before stepping across the threshold. Looking at the overall plan, the spatial logic becomes clear. Studio Kennon arranged the residence along two perpendicular axes, a central open pavilion for gathering that reaches toward the pool and coastal views, and a dedicated residential wing sheltering bedrooms and quiet lounges. This layout allows light and landscape to penetrate deep into the footprint, while framing protected outdoor zones from prevailing ocean winds. Stepping inside, the tone shifts from rugged defensiveness to refined interior calm. A striking architectural archway frames a view into a private, sunlit courtyard filled with lush green foliage against a textured concrete retaining wall. The soft curves of the arch, paired with warm timber floors and quiet plush seating, immediately establish how the home balances structural strength with spatial intimacy. Passing through into the main living pavilion, the boundaries between shelter and environment dissolve entirely. Floor-to-ceiling glass panels retract into the structure, opening the lounge onto a carpet of green lawn, native coastal scrub, and the swimming pool beyond. Low-slung, curved beige upholstery, warm timber accents, and a hearth lined with square terracotta tiles give the room an inviting, grounded warmth. Over in the Fireside corner, the material story becomes even more tactile. Linen-draped armchairs and sheer flowing curtains soften the raw presence of a board-formed concrete column and travertine fireplace surround. Outside, framed like a living canvas, wind-bent trees and native coastal garden beds remind you of the wild landscape just beyond the glass. Just adjacent, the dining and kitchen space celebrates raw stone and timber craftsmanship. A sculpted island clad in heavily veined beige marble commands the center, topped by matching stone cabinetry hoods and vertical timber slats. Surrounding an oval oak table, a mix of green suede and warm leather seating introduces subtle earthy tones that echo the surrounding dune vegetation. Zooming in on the kitchen's joinery details, the precision of Studio Kennon's material selection shines through. A cantilevered circular marble breakfast bar rests effortlessly on a thick cylindrical stone column, paired with a handcrafted timber stool. Warm timber paneling conceals functional elements, creating a seamless, quiet background that lets the stone's organic veining take center stage. Glancing down the central hallway corridor, light shifts subtly across plaster and concrete surfaces. The concrete wall retains the faint texture of formwork, while framed glimpses into adjoining living zones reveal dark timber hearth details and dusty rose textiles. It's a sequence of quiet thresholds that makes navigating the house feel like a journey through layered spaces. Deeper within the home, internal Lightwells bring the coastal outdoors into unexpected corners. Full-height glass walls encase an inner garden courtyard where dense ferns and clipped greenery thrive beneath an overhead skylight. The raw gray concrete wall behind the garden catches soft daylight, dropping natural illumination into the subterranean depths of the floor plan. In the private sleeping quarters, the connection to nature takes on a peaceful, restful quality. Glazed sliding doors open directly onto a gravel terrace, backed by stacked boulders and native coastal scrub. A tactile, leopard-patterned lounge chair, linen bedding, and soft blush rugs invite quiet contemplation while watching clouds drift over the dune canopy. The powder room offers a dramatic departure in color and atmosphere. Rendered in deep terracotta plaster walls, the space feels like a warm, earth-hewn sanctuary. Natural light pours down from a hidden ceiling skylight onto a golden marble vanity top and small square floor tiles, highlighting rich textural variation within a tight, intimate volume. Continuing into the master ensuite, sanctuary remains the central theme. A freestanding oval soaking tub sits beneath a wash of skylight glow, flanked by rich travertine wall jambs and square stone floor tiles. Monochromatic artwork mounted above the tub reinforces the bathroom's quiet, meditative minimalism. Stepping back outside into the garden, the exterior masonry reveals its weather-defying character under the coastal sun. Textural stone walls contrast with lush beds of lavender, ornamental grasses, and purple coastal blooms. The reflective glass of the main pavilion reflects the sky and garden, making the massive structure feel light and integrated with its site. From the main lawn, the full architectural gesture of the living pavilion comes into view. The long overhang of the roof provides deep shadow and weather protection, while the fully retracted glass walls transform the entire living room into a covered outdoor loggia. It's an architecture that adapts effortlessly to the shifting moods of the Southern Ocean climate. Beside the pavilion, a low-slung concrete swimming pool sits embedded directly into the sloping terrain. Glacial turquoise water reflects the coastal sky, framed by manicured turf, wild flowering perennials, and a lone olive tree. The structure does not dominate the hilltop. It nests into it, letting the surrounding dunes take priority.
Wildcoast Residence is ultimately a lesson in architectural resilience and restraint. Pete Kennon and Zoe Fayman have created a sanctuary where heavy concrete, natural stone, and warm timber do not fight the coast, but embrace it. Photographed with quiet sensitivity by Felix Forrest, the home stands as a thoughtful study in living alongside nature, offering comfort and shelter without ever severing its bond with the wild sea.